admitted, "I thought this case was over and I was going to get on with my life, but God don't make mistakes and I'm tired of fighting." For Boogie, this wasn't just another setback. It was themament everything he had been running from finally caught up with him. When the news dropped, fans flooded his mentions with support, but you could tell Boozie was broken by it. This isn't the same Boozie who used to troll online or clap back at every critic. This was a man who sounded tired. His post had that mix of faith and resignation, like he wastering to accept his fate. "I wasn't gonna go to trial with it, from the dump, actually. But, I feel like this the right move for me. I trust in God." But people who've been following Boozie for years know he's been dodging bullets, both literal and legal, since his early days in Baton Rouge. Surviving cases, surviving beefs, surviving health scares. But this time it feels different. 10 years is not a slap on the wrist, and the weight of that reality showed in every word he typed. While fans were lifting Boogie up, Charleston White was doing the exact opposite. He went live, smiling ear to ear, basically saying he predicted this would happen. Charleston made it clear he never believed Boozie would dodge this case. And now that the sentence is locked in, he's happy to rub it in. Going to jail? Music? Oh, God is good. I keep telling y'all, street got no guard. Guards do not look out the street. Boogie really thought he wasn't going to jail for that pistol. Too knew he was going. He going to jail? All that newborn baby Boogie won't get to see that newborn baby till that baby be walking and talking. Boogie going to jail. He even said he hopes Boozie dies in jail. Which is wild even for Charleston. But then again, this is the same man who's made a whole career off being the loudest troll in hop culture. The timing of his reaction made it sting even more. Boozie hadn't even had a chance to process his own sentencing before Charleston turned it into a live comedy show. Now, Charleston trolling is nothing new, but his obsession with Boozie feels personal. Every time Boogie has a legal issue, Charleston pops up like clockwork. That's why people are asking, why does Charleston White hate Boozie this much? It's deeper than just random internet trolling. These two have history and their beef has been brewing for years. It goes all the way back to late 2022 when Kanye West had everybody heated with his White Lives Matter shirt. Boozie spoke out saying why was disrespecting black people, and honestly most people agreed with him at the time. But Charleston White? Nope. He jumped online blasting Boozie for even speaking on Kanye, and that's when things went left. Instead of just clapping at Boozie, Charleston dragged his son Tootie Rowinto it, and even Ty's son King Harris. He called them ugly, said they couldn't fight, and even predicted they'd end up in jail. He brought you up because, you were attacking Kanye because of the Ana. That was guess Kanye. Where just happened? Mom been coming at me. He been coming at me. It's just, I can't respond to those people, bro. Like, that's a danger to what I got going on. Can't take no risk of losing this behind, That's when people realized Charleston wasn't just another troll. He was willing to go low, even targeting kids just to hurt their parents. What surprised people most was how calm Boozie kept it. Instead of snapping back the way everyone expected, he played it safe during an interview with Tony the Closer. He made it clear that speaking his mind too much could easily land him behind bars, especially once somebody drags kids into the conversation. So rather than going all out, Boogie held back and kept his response measured. Here's that interview where Boogie explained why he refused to go off the way people thought he would. God, no, I ain't really got no opinion on them, 'cause, my opinion can send me to prison. So I ain't really, I ain't really got no opinion on them. Once you go to threaten people, kids talking about you out of line. So I ain't the one going to do all that. Ain't going to do all that. You know what I'm saying? And it's just, hey, certain people you can't really express opinions on, and he, one of those, you can't express how you feel 'cause you might end up in prison. And I ain't getting tricked off the streets. That line told you everything. Boozie wasn't scared of Charleston, but he knew Charleston was the type to bait him into saying something that could get him locked up. So instead of firing back, Boozie stayed calm, at least on the surface. But the tension was already boiling. By early 2023, this beef hit a whole new level. Charleston was already trolling T.I. over his paperwork party when Boozie's son Tootie decided to clap back. He called Charleston old messy, told him to go die. All of it. Charleston, being Charleston, took it 10 times further. He went live and said, "I hope your daddy die from that diabetes. I hope China don't send the insulin over here 1 month." Like, who even says that? He basically wished death on Boozie just to get under his son's skin. And then Tootie actually got arrested later that month for guns. Guess he popped out immediately claiming credit. Charleston White. He bragged about calling the police, sending in pictures, and tipping off the Department of Public Safety. He even said the cops were already watching Tootie because Boosie was a 6-time convicted murderer who used children to kill people. That was the moment this beef officially went from trolling to real life damage. Not even 3 months later, Boosie himself got arrested again in San Diego after a case hearing, and Charleston couldn't wait to laugh about it. He went on Instagram Live saying this was God's plan, comparing Boosie to Daniel in the lion's den like God chose him to prove something by surviving prison. That them white Boosie you done got too. You done let these, play your two mother this internet dumb and it say, what little toddy go do now? Well, look to the hey listen. Vlad TV. Vlad ain't Vlad post everybody going to jail but Boosie. Somebody tag Vlad TV Charleston twisted Boosie's arrest into a whole sermon, making it sound like Boosie's pain was divine punishment. Fans couldn't tell if he was being serious or just trolling, but either way, it was disrespectful as hell. Months later, Boosie finally broke his silence on Vlad TV. He admitted he didn't even want Vlado interview Charleston because of all the things he said about Tootie. And once again, he made it clear he wasn't scared. He was just trying to stay free. He said it himself. I mean, I can't respond to that because once I see a man go up there and say, he going to put you in prison, even if you threaten him or say something about him and he's got facts to where he's put people in prison, I can't take a chance of getting involved with that. Well, listen, I don't want anything to happen. He's like, I'm going to call, I've seen him on he going to call somebody. People, yeah. No, he calls people. He gets people arrested for threats and stuff like that, but I'm not threatening. So even though Boosie played it cool, you could tell Charleston was living rent-free in his head. Then came early 2024, the beef bled into internet culture even more. Aiden Ross was supposed to have Boosie on his stream, but Boosie didn't want to deal with Charleston, so he passed. Next thing you know, Aiden flipped the story and claimed he turned Boosie down out of loyalty to Charleston White. That blew up online until DJ Vlad stepped in, dragging Aiden for siding with a guy who'd literally praised Hitler and denied the Holocaust. That mess showed just how far Charleston's shadow stretched. Even young streamers were using his name as clout currency. Even after all that, Charleston wasn't letting up. Later in March, he popped back online claiming Boosie had allegedly warned promoters not to book him. He turned it into another rant, saying he'd already reached out to the feds and was ready to get Boosie locked up over what he called threats. Even dragged Boo's health into it just to make the insult sting more. Here's Charleston going off again, this time swearing he'd get Boosie jammed up through the FBI. I'm gonna put you in jail. Waiting for the FBI to send me the right kind of number because I'm going to make a report on your mother and people. You make the Manthe man call your name specifically. The promoter specifically said your mother little Boosie. He implemented you and implicated you two go to jail back to jail. You going to be on your knees going to be bleeding again. Once again, Charleston had no proof, but it didn't matter. He said it loud enough and it stuck. Boosie himself even admitted that he's been getting calls from guys already locked up asking him when he was going to join them. Imagine being Boosie already carrying the weight of a federal sentence and then hearing dudes inside clowning you before you even touch the yard. That just adds insult to injury and Charleston knows it. I feel I trust in God, man. This crazy here's another angle people are whispering about. Boosie didn't even want to do a trial. He went straight for the plea. And honestly, can you blame him? Imagine if for some wild reason Charleston White had managed to show up in court. Y'all already know he would have turned that courtroom into a circus. Probably testifying, pointing fingers, and running to the blogs he stepped outside. It's not that far-fetched either, because Charleston has a history of snitching, and he's never been shy about it. According to sources, when Charleston was just 14, he was involved in a robbery with some other teens. During the robbery, one of them, Antoine Doolittle, shot and unalived a man named Michael Levy. When it came time for court, Charleston testified against him. Now, in snitch culture, that's unforgivable. Even though he was just a kid, people still drag him for basically telling on someone in.